Hello. Was trying to do something different, but I ended up parodying Rufelmonger instead. Regardless, this is Grizz Lotus, and I'm here to catch up on some SNK news that has come out within the past week or so. Am I right? This is marked as Thursday, so I'm a couple of days removed from this first coming out. But yeah, I haven't really been in the loop with a lot of stuff as far as current fighting game stuff is concerned. You can probably guess why. I've had a pretty rough couple of months, but I'm not gonna go into it. I'm alright right now, I'm okay. But yeah, those of you watching who are still getting rocked by current events, you know, whether it be you, a loved one, you know, if you lost somebody, my condolences to you. And if it's just giving you a hard time for one reason or another, I just send all the good vibes, best thoughts, wishes, prayers, everything positive, that you get the help, the relief, the breakthrough that you need. So let's get into something a little more positive, if you will. SNK to reveal Samurai Shodown Season 3 Pass Fighters January next year. Now, I just caught wind of it right here. I was about to say, I knew about the Last Blade character being in there. I didn't know they were going to be part of a character pass, like a season pass. That I did not know of. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I know the Warden was in the previous season, but Gong Soon Lee, the second guest character from Honor of Kings, me and my friend John made fun of the game because, well, it was mostly me making fun of the game because I kept confusing it with other stuff. Because when they mentioned Honor of Kings, I was looking up to see what kind of characters are in Honor of Kings. And the little bit that I found, like, I didn't find any info. I just found visuals, and all the characters in that game seemed cool. So I was down for whatever. And Gong Soon Lee, I actually enjoyed more than the Warden, like. But speaking of the Warden, there's a video that I put out hours before they first revealed the Warden, 10 guest characters that I would like to see in Samurai Shodown. The number 10 entry was a Last Blade character. You can go look on my channel and see for yourself. Now, I didn't call any specific character, so I guess I kind of cheated there in a ways. But I honestly would be good with anybody from Last Blade coming into Sam Show. Last Blade has a very underrated character roster. I wouldn't be upset if this happened, but the one character that I'm not really hoping it is Musashi Akatsuki. Musashi Akatsuki is a cool character. I have nothing against him. It's just, I hope they don't go for the whole, you know, Miyamoto Musashi mirror here. We already got the Miyamoto Musashi mirror in Soul Calibur right now with Haomaru going over there and possibly clashing with Mitsurugi. Now that I think about it, I might have just predicted why they might actually pick Musashi Akatsuki. But I really think it might be the safe choice, and that's Kaede, the main protagonist. I could go all day about the Last Blade roster, but Kaede, Moriya Minakata, those are like the two that I hope are picked. But I think it will be Kaede, which I'll be cool with. Now, the fact that it's part of a season pass was surprising to me because I think I just said this, I might have stepped off the point a little bit. But when I mentioned Gong Soon Lee, unless I'm mistaken, because I haven't really been in the loop, I don't think Gong Soon Lee was actually part of a character pack. Unless they stuffed her in with season 2, but that'd have been kind of interesting. Which brings me to my second question. Is it going to be 4 characters in season 3? And I wonder who those characters are going to be. On my prediction videos talking about Sam Show when they leaked Sogetsu, which please don't mistakenly leak anything else. Please don't. But I saw some of you hoping for characters like Genon, who I'd be cool with. I saw mentions of Rara. That's cool too. Who else? Seeker. I would totally be down for Seeker. Seeker would be a good pick because there's nobody, like, not saying that any two characters in Sam Show play that much alike then, but when you take into account even weapons, then Seeker is very unique. I would be all for Seeker making a comeback. But it's going to be really interesting to see what these characters are. Part of me is hoping, and part of me has the very small, just small suspicion that SNK is probably going to give into that demographic that pushed a certain character to the number 10 spot. I think that was in the poll they did. And that was Yokai Kusarigero. I'm going to leave that alone. But also I saw there were also some other characters, like the main protagonist, I think her name was Suzuhime from Sam Show Sin. Sam Show Sin. Ugh. But that would be pretty cool, like, because Sam Show Sin, the characters that were new from that game, which very few, if I'm not mistaken, good designs, just in a bad game. But that'll be interesting to see. I'm wondering about that. There's something else I hope comes with this, but I will get to that later because it also ties into the overarching thing I want to get to in regards to these announcements. And it's so funny, I'm just now noticing this. I just clicked into this roster before I started recording. Well, this roster. I just clicked into this report, this news article, seconds before I started recording. This is what we're also going to talk about right now, and it's right here. I heard about the character announcement. This was actually, I think, was it before? Oh, so both of these came out on Thursday. Huh. Okay. Let me put the music on pause. Which, by the way, special shout outs to artist that provides 95% of the music from my latest content, Electronic Warbear. Thank you for sharing your talents with me. Thank you for believing in me. Also, all of you, send your well wishes, your blessings, whatever it is, all good energy to Electronic Warbear and his fiance. They got engaged, I think, last month. But yeah, send all your good luck, your well wishes to those two. Both of them are besties of mine, so yeah. Okay, so official character announcement. So are we gonna get a new character? Like, are we gonna finally see who the first, like, we getting some trailers here? Let me stop talking. Let's go.
皆さんこんにちは KOF15 のプロデューサー小田康之です。皆さんこんにちは KOF15 のクリエイティブディレクターの小倉英介です。
KOF KOF14 music. Underrated soundtrack, by the way.
公開の日程が決まりました。おめでとうございます。
I was talking a little too much. What did he say? Trailer release date, okay. Don't mind me, in the back, drinking water.
はい、じゃあ早速ですけれども、初公開に向けて告知用のトレーラーを制作しましたのでご覧ください。
So I'm guessing we're gonna see gameplay next month/year, basically. Whoa, what was that? Alright, Benimaru, Shune, saw Kyo in the beginning. Okay, what was that though? First official reveal, okay, January 7th. Okay. 7 days into the new year. Not bad. Okay. Looks like Kyo pretty much being vintage Kyo because he had like that excuse me. He had like a white jacket in 14, didn't he? Like a white vest jacket, something like that. I'm trying to see because that was, I already know I'm probably gonna have to slow this down. Okay, that first one was Benimaru. Oh, that's Leona. Okay. Okay, Leona. Oh, that was K. I saw the glasses. Am I right? Yeah, I can tell. That was K. I'm not going to sit here. And there's Kyo. It showed Shune and Benimaru. Okay. All right, then. There you go. Japan Standard Time. Oh, my bad. Sorry, y'all.
流したいと思ってますけれども、今回のトレーラーでも、いくつか気になる
There are some pretty interesting things going on in this teaser.
その辺ちょっと小倉さんに詳しく
What do you mean?
はい、いただけたらと思います。
ですね、まず、俊英君なんですけれども、前作の14ではですね、主人公のようなまたそうでないような、ちょっと微妙なポジションの新キャラクターとして登場したわけですけれども、もう今回ははっきりと、主人公という位置づけで登場。
I didn't really play a lot of Shune when I played KOF 14. I had a friend of me, a friendly rival. He played a lot of Shune. I do notice some differences with the design. I don't think he had a logo on his jacket back in the previous game. And I can see some more details, like they do touch him up a little bit. Also this thing. Okay.
することになります。で新技の方もですね追加されますし、かっこよさの方にも磨きがかかっておりますので。
What was that about? It said like he's the bona fide protagonist. I thought he was already established because I knew off rip, I knew by default he was going to come back to KOF because I figured he had been long since established as the KOF, the new KOF protagonist of this particular arc. But I guess he's talking in sense of like establishing him as like the protagonist, which there's not many people in my close friend circle that are really into KOF like that. So, and the reason I say this is because I don't know how most players feel about Shune. But given every single previous protagonist from all the different arcs, Kid got a lot. Kid got pretty tough acts to follow. You got Kyo. You're not going to outdo Kyo. After him was K Dash. My friends, the few that I have, always fight about is it really K Dash or is it just K? But K Dash. K Dash is pretty popular. Ash Crimson, I personally didn't like all that much. And that's I'll stop BSing. Main reason why is because when I first started playing KOF 14 online, not 14 but 13, most of the time I was getting whooped by Ash Crimson play. But I remember hearing that Ash Crimson only really appealed to more of the Asian market, kind of similar to what was the character that caused all that controversy in Tekken 7? The dancer chick. The little pop star. I don't forgot her name. A lot of y'all are gonna hate that. But I remember she cooked up a big freaking storm. Like, you know, people, oh my gosh, like, get this K-pop kawaii filth out of my Tekken. It's like, ugh. Seriously, but from like just looking at the sketch, I mean, Shune looks okay. Got some more moves, so that'll be interesting to see. Lucky Chloe. I was about to look it up on my phone, but I figured it out before I picked it up. Lucky Chloe.
あたりもぜひ楽しみにしていただけたらなと思います。
Mobile Villainous Letter,
次
okay.
に今日なんですけれども、今日の方は
He's a new man.
新規一点と言いますか、今
Looks
回
about
は
the same to
黒ジャケ
me.
ットでの登場となります。
Talking about personality?
アレコス以外ではもう久しぶりのバンダナ姿での登場となりますので、
Looking a little more
そのあたりも
vintage.
楽しみにしていただけたらなと思います。
Classic.
そして最後に、ベニマルなんです
Got the
けれど
bandana
も、
back.
前作14の方ではもうキラキラの衣装で 登場させていただいたんですけれども、今回はですね、
うん
また、いつものベニマルのスタンダードといえるノースリーブのシャツに戻しまして、その上でですね、さらにオリエンタル
Yeah, I
の
was just about to say that. I'm like, I'm
ベニ
used
マ
to
ルら
Benimaru. At least I know, like he always had like the whole, bare your midriff type of outfit. Now, like he still got like skin tight stuff, but just looking at him, like, yeah, that's what I was saying. What did he call it? Oriental flare? Yeah, exactly. That's what I saw that as.
思いますので、
Not really the biggest Benimaru fan, but
こちらの方
shrug.
も、また映像が発表された時に楽しみにしていただけたらなと思います。
These are more
キャラ
content.
クターに関しては今回
That's it for
公開されてい
characters.
るものに関してはこんな感じですね。
はい、じゃあそうですね、他にも新しいキャラクター
New characters are how team.
チームの編成がごちゃごちゃっとなってたりとか、気になるところ、今ちょっとまだ喋れないんですけど、気になるところ
Oh,
があるん
what's
ですけども
this?
何かその辺の新情報あれば。
そうですね、チーム編成に関しましてもですね、14とはもう
うん
ガラッと変えて今回進めていますので、またね、来年になって、徐々に、情報を公開していくことになると思いますので、
Oh, you got it. Dream team rosters? Oh, yeah.
皆さんの方で、
You got it. What did he say there? The exact wording. The way the teams are composed will differ greatly from KOF 14. Wonder what that means. Like, are we not going to have trios anymore? Or maybe people are going to switch teams, possibly. It'd be interesting. I feel like it's more the latter. Like, have different, team comps. They might put like a more established character maybe with another team to kind of like get the new characters over, maybe. Like, I know this might be kind of a sin to think of, but maybe like have somebody like Terry Bogard, he can have Andy with him, but have a third newer character try to get them over, maybe. Not a bad idea. I mean, the women fighters team, I try to make sure I get that right. It's not women's fighters team, it's women fighters team. The women fighters team did that a whole bunch. Like, they did it again. Like, I know Maya's kind of been there for the most of it, though, but even that team has, shuffled up a little bit. Maybe there's going to be a new generation women's fighters team. Maybe there's going to be a new generation of some of the more established teams. I wonder if Nest is going to make another comeback. Because that was actually a pretty cool team, though. Team Nests from last time. Even though a lot of people criticize, because from like personal reviews that I've seen, then even though people are going to be, fans will be fans, of course. But I saw a lot of people, like, for instance, Fighters Generation really did not like not Lucky Chloe, but Sylvie Paula's design. The fact that I confused those two. Yeah, they're both like similar characters, but you can pretty much pick the two of them. Like, one of them was a lot more freaky looking than the other one. And I'm not just talking about Sylvie's like outfit. Remember the freaking wind pose? The freaking bleh. I'm talking too much.
進めていますので、またね、来年になって、徐々に、
That'll be a future video, Dream Team rosters.
ので、そのあたりどうなるのかなって皆さんの方で、予想して楽しんでいただけたらなと思います。はい。
はい、そしてですね、告知トレーラーの方で初公開になってましたけれども、ロゴの方も正式なものができました。今までナンバリングの方は、
changing the logo. I like that logo.
あしらってたんですけれども、皆さん KOF と、僕らも基本的に
They did have it with, in words.
っていうのが通ってますので、
In the trailer they showed at Evo
強調したデザインに
last year.
MI 以来となりますけれども、変更しておりますので、こちらのロゴの方皆さん
Again with the crowd because everybody else calls it KOF.
はい、それでは小倉さん最後に、初公開を楽しみにしているファンの皆様に向けてメッセージをお願いします。
はい。前作をはるかに超える自信作に仕上がっておりますので、KOF15 ぜひご期待ください。よろしくお願いします。
Most ambitious. Okay. What the?
サムライスピリッツシーズンパス3のキャラクターも発表します。先日ご案内した月下の天使のコラボキャラクターはもちろん、新たなキャラクターも発表予定です。それでは KOF ファンの皆さん、サムスピファンの皆さん、お楽しみにお待ちください。
Okay, I laughed because the fact they start, the fact that because it wasn't, they didn't like mention it in the title. Like I thought it was gonna be purely KOF, but then they mentioned kind of what we went over concerning Sam Show. Okay, then let me just leave this on. Let me go back here. I'm leaving on the KOF logo. Look at the new one in all its glory. So at first I was thinking that we'd already covered the bit or everything we had to cover when it came to Sam Show, but I caught that little bit there. He mentioned revealing another character other than the Last Blade character that's coming to the game, which will also be interesting. So what are my closing thoughts? I am highly anticipating this. I'm hyped for this. Now, if you're looking at the title of this video, you're probably wondering, what is the catch? You know, what comes after the but? ... Here's the thing. I am hyped for KOF 15. I am eager to see what characters are going to come to Sam Show. I didn't think Sam Show was going to get this many seasons. I thought it was done at season 2. But here we are. Surprise, surprise. But SNK has got to make a better netcode. Fix the netcode. They've got to do it. Especially in current times. If Sam Show had a killer netcode, I would have dumped every other fighting game off to the side and would have 100% dedicated myself. It's like I said, dedicate. Like Dade County in Florida or something like that. But I would have dedicated my all 100% of my time to Sam Show because I just really love Sam Show 7, as they want to call it. I love Sam Show 7. Most of it comes, of course, from playing Darley. I love that character to death, but overall, the game is great. I actually legit did a thing where when the game first came out, I went down the list and played a different character every night for one session, which was a fun experiment. But after a while, it got unbearable because the netcode is horrible. Look, I know it's a cultural thing because I know Max had covered this and I looked further into it about certain things that I forgot what it was called. I think it was called Didn't Originate Here or something. Basically, you know, we didn't make it, so we don't want to use it. We want to make our own. Point blank, which I get that. Everybody, you know, especially in the business field, wants to own every little bit of what they do. They don't want to like borrow ideas and such and such and such and such. But this is a matter of functionality. In these current times, this would be the best time. I remember they said something there about this is going to be the most ambitious KOF to date. I wouldn't worry so much about the graphics because I remember people making a big fuss about the graphics when it came to KOF 14. I wasn't bothered by the graphics. I remember somebody at one of the shops I used to play fighting games at try to insult the game saying that KOF 14 looked like a PS3 game. Which, interestingly, I remember, he said PS3 or said a PS2 game. Regardless, both of those consoles are considered two of the best of all time. So I wouldn't take that as an insult. And luckily, like, they did come through and have like a little bit of like graphics and everything with the patch that came out. And thankfully it was free. But netcode. If you don't want to do rollback, then get something good, better. Other than this, I don't know for a fact that Tekken has rollback. There were claims that it was, but when I think Harada had claimed it was rollback. You know, people were calling bull on that then, but the recent patch that I've heard about, I think was the Kunimitsu patch in Tekken 7. Most of the people I follow when it comes to fighting games, JM Crofts, Rufelmonger, and I'm even seeing related videos saying that, hey, Tekken 7 is now actually really playable now. So apparently they came through. It was more generally well received. SNK should be able to do the same thing. I want to dedicate more of my time. I like KOF and Sam Show more than a lot of series that are out there right now. I legit thought that it was going to be KOF from here on when it came to SNK far as fighting games are concerned. I did not expect Sam Show to come out, even return, but it did. It has a wonderful design. Part of me is wishing and hoping, even though this is not high priority for me, but just because I like the way it looks, I really hope that the same design in KOF, the same design in Sam Show 7 will be applied to KOF. I really do. But they have got to implement a decent netcode. They've got to do it. I'm already looking forward to supporting the new Guilty Gear because that game is supposed to be having rollback netcode. From what I heard when they had the beta, because I didn't get a chance to play the beta seemed good. Most complaints I heard about Guilty Gear Strive had more to do with the fact that Guilty Gear Strive didn't feel like a Guilty Gear game. But that's all I'm asking. I'm going to be talking all day if I keep coming back to the point where SNK has got to make a better netcode. Otherwise, I can't be dedicated to this like I want to be. I really hope the ambition he was talking about there also applies to making the best netcode. That's really a reason why, honestly, I'm only going to be on this for a little bit because it's kind of an unrelated note. But I've dropped Mortal Kombat 11 because it's a shame how that game has a great netcode, but Combat League is terrible. Still having to play with people that have potentially unstable connections. I would say Wi-Fi, but I've run into a fair share of people that have decent Wi-Fi matches. But someone has to have the trashiest no-bar connection for me to drop out of a match? It's like, I don't want to... No. Like, that's why I really haven't done any Mortal Kombat, like, content then, because it's amazing. I'm all for it then. I'm happy. I'm not a fan of this character per se, but I'm happy the Mileena fans got what they wanted. Even though I have been really critical of how they've done stuff on social media and everything, but forget all that. I know how it feels to have your character drop from a game. I wasn't raging as much at NetherRealm Studios. I was more kind of like kind of just crying in my own room when there was no Jade in Mortal Kombat X. But, you know, hey, I'll take a Kotal and Ferritor, who they need to bring back any day. But they put more characters in there, but they didn't fix they didn't fix ranked. It's no use. But yeah, SNK, please, I want to throw all the money at you that I possibly can. Please, if we can just have a solid netcode and decent gameplay, we'll be good. I'm not too worried about the design. I'm not too worried about the graphics. The gameplay and the netcode are my two biggest things. Characters, not really high priority to me because even if my favorites are not in there, give me somebody else to work with. That's it. But I don't want to ramble on for too long, but those are just my thoughts about it. What do you think? Are you hyped for the Sam Show announcements, this KOF trailer? Let me know your thoughts below. This is Chris Lotus, and I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.